and welcome to another episode of the Sport of Bowling Show. I hope everyone is having a great summer. I know I am, after just coming home from an extended road trip where I got to bowl a PBA 50 National Tour event in the Chicagoland area, and also cover the PWBA Anniversary Open and Junior Gold for a couple weeks in Green Bay. Joining us on this month's show is a really cool guest who also happens to be from the Chicagoland area. He's one of the top youth bowlers in the country who will be making his first Junior Gold TV appearance next week as the top seed in the U18 Boys division. It's Jos Weems. His mom, Sharon, will also be joining us to give her perspective on youth bowling as a parent. I mentioned the PWBA Anniversary Open, and all I've heard since the night of the show is people raving about how great it was, and how we should be doing more of those kinds of arena finals events in the future. So let's kick off our show with a little recap of the PWBA Anniversary Open on CBS Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen from Colombia, Rocio Restrepo. Going for a title. Nice shot. Leads 5 here. Has it. Has the win. For the win. That's a winner. What better way to lock it up than a strike like that? Fitting, it's Kayla Smith as the top seed. The lefty. Nice start. Looks for another one. Has another one. First standard title since 2019. What a night for Josie Barnes. She wins the 2025 PWBA Anniversary Open. Time to celebrate for the Barnes family in Green Bay.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Sport of Bowling Show studio. The PWBA Anniversary Open was such a great event. We're going to talk about it a little bit later in the final frame, but it was such a great way to kick off Junior Gold. And then the Junior Gold tournament, again, another fantastic year, over 3,100 bowlers. And today on the show, we're lucky enough to have one of the top players in Junior Gold. He's bowled it for 7 years now, and he was the #1 qualifier in the U18 Boys division this year. We're going to see him on the show next Tuesday, August 12th, and he's here with his mom. And let's give a big Sport of Bowling Show welcome to Jos Weems and Sharon. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good.
We're great. We're great.
Great. Well, I mentioned it in the open. I've seen your name at Junior Gold for a number of years, Jos. I couldn't even believe how far back it actually went. But I remember when we first rolled out the awards program, you were up for one of those awards. I think it was like most popular or coolest or something.
Breakout Star of the Year.
Breakout Star of the Year. You know, I just, every year I see you and you get a little bit bigger, but you've always been the coolest kid. And, you know, for somebody that never really was the coolest kid, how are you able to do that?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I kind of just get out there and bowl and see what happens, you know?
Well, it seemed like, you know, I had a friend growing up that used to kick our butts all the time, but everybody loved the guy, right? And so I felt like when you were on the show, we actually had to make room in the bleachers for all your friends to come on, who bowled in the tournament, by the way, who you beat. But it just seemed like everybody loves you so much. And the way you competed on that show, we're not going to give away the ending of who won, but it just seems like you just have this aura of cool about you. And just talk a little bit about where that came from and then getting to compete on television.
It definitely came from my dad. He in his time on Earth, he met a lot of people, and a lot of those people that he met became my friends, and they were sitting in my corner on the show, which was absolutely incredible. Even though, I was nervous, it just made me feel a whole lot better about the entire thing. And yeah, it was just great to have people in my corner.
Yeah, I mean, you did not look nervous. And I know how nerve-wracking bowling on TV can be, but and we've certainly seen it with other players making their first show and they say, well, I'm just gonna have a good time. And then they get on TV and it doesn't look like they're having a good time. But it looked like you were having a fantastic time. And it just feels like every time you're out there bowling, you sort of bring this joy to it. And is that something that you do consciously to try to, help get you through and do as well as you can?
I definitely think positive energy is a source of where I kind of get confidence from, and where I'm able to, if I'm in a hole, I'm able to kind of pull myself out of that hole. And yeah, the joy of it all is that I just get to do what I love with my friends, and sometimes I get to win, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you've won a lot of things. You according to my notes, you're 10-time Elite Youth Tour champion, 11-time PBA Junior, 4-time SYC, and it's sort of starting to snowball. It seems like recently you've been racking up wins at a much higher rate, and so let's talk to Mom for a sec and just sort of Sharon, I know you've been around taking Jos to all the events, since he was a little tyke. And what have you kind of seen in terms of his development that has allowed him to have so much success recently?
Well, I mean, first things first, he just loves the sport. He loves bowling, and he could eat, sleep, breathe bowling all day, every day. I have to give credit to his dad, my husband, who he actually did the lion's share of all of the tournamenting with Jos. I think it wasn't until after COVID that I started to do a lot more traveling with them bowling. And now, the two of us do a lot of it together if he's not going solo. Jos puts in a lot of work. I mean, he has a very strong work ethic when it comes to practice and trying to learn from the coach and trying to learn from his previous experience in tournaments. And so he really does try to improve his game as much as possible. And I mean, he's really dedicated in that way. And I think that that's really some of the, the success he's seen, especially probably over the last year and a half. He just is really putting in the work and, really dedicated to improving his game in any way he can.
Yeah, you guys mentioned a couple times now that you lost, your husband and your dad. I know that's obviously got to be incredibly tough thing to have to go through. But before we came on, we talked a little bit about how, in some of the ways he's still around and still, you can sort of feel his presence. So just talk a little bit about that, and then talk about what exactly he meant to you when he was around, and how he did sort of forge this all this success that you're having now.
I don't know. I guess his energy seems to be all around me. Like when we go to tournaments, we always take his car, and we always have his sweater on the back of the driver's seat, so we know that he's always with us. And sometimes if I'm bowling and I get a lucky break, I'll be like, "Thanks, Dad. Appreciate you for knocking the pins down." Or I'd be like, "Thanks." And I see him in all the people that are friends with me. I see him in all the people that he's met. He did such a good job of warming people's hearts and making them want to be around him. And now he's I guess kind of passed the torch to me. And now there's a lot of people that are, once again, just sitting in my corner and wanting to be around me. And I just really appreciate him and all the people that want to support me and be around me.
Yeah, it's been a theme, obviously, with the first couple of questions we've talked about, of just how many great friends that you've got out there, and really from around the country. But talk a little bit about just locally in Chicago. It's such a great bowling area. When I was doing the name list for Junior Gold this year, Illinois had the most names. So just talk a little bit about that community. And I know you also started getting into sort of giving back and running some events yourself. So just talk a little bit about that, both of you guys, if you wouldn't mind.
To be honest, the bowling community here in Chicago is a little bit spread out. I mean, we kind of go to the same tournaments because there aren't really any really good bowling centers in Chicago. It's all around in the suburbs. So the people that get out there do the tournaments like the EYTs, the Elite Youth Tour, the Illinois State Scholarship Tours, tournaments like that. And they actually pay pretty well, and it's a very fun experience, and it kind of gets you used to like what you have to do to bowl in Junior Gold or say bowl on the Pro Tour and stuff like that. It just really helps you get acclimated to the bowling world.
And I think probably something most people might not know is that Jos's home bowling center is actually in Hammond, Indiana, which is just over the border. It's very close to us. It's about 25 minutes away from where we live. And so when he says that, it's kind of spread out here in the Chicagoland area, it's spread out as far as like the surrounding suburbs, but also creeps over the border a little bit into Indiana. So he does bowling over there too, but his home center, since he actually began bowling, is over the border in Hammond at Olympia Lanes.
Well, if I'd have known that, I just bowled the PBA 50 event there. I would have had you come out and ball rep for me. I would have done a lot better in the tournament than I did. But yeah, talk a little bit about, I know when my mom used to take me to tournaments when I was a youth bowler, I mean, the biggest thing that she enjoyed about it was just all the friends that she actually made, just all the other parents. So just talk a little bit about just that community. And I know, Junior Gold gives you the opportunity to meet so many people from around the country and make your friend group even bigger. And you've been there, like we said, 7 years now. So just talk a little bit about all the people that you've met.
I definitely get to see a lot of culture through all the people I meet, because especially at Junior Gold, there are people from every part of the country: California, the Midwest, the West, the South, the Southeast. It's just a great experience to meet so many people and get to know so many people, because they all have different experiences that you kind of want to just take in and, just be around that, because it's very inspiring, and it's very like true in a way. It's true community.
It's also, I think, really nice that we tournament all over the country, and he doesn't. He never goes to a tournament where he doesn't know somebody, and it could be as far west as California, or as far east as New York City, but he never goes to a tournament where there's not at least one person he knows in the building. So he's made a lot of good friends, and we've met a lot of fantastic families. I tell people this all the time: I wouldn't trade the bowling community and the families and the kids in the bowling community for anything in the world. It's just the best group of people, best group of family, really solid earth folks. And so we've been very, very, I think, fortunate and blessed to have made as many connections and friends that we've made in the bowling world.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I know you talked a little bit about money in youth tournaments, and I know you've probably got a pretty nice sized smart account at this point. And I know you're looking at going to college and interested in potentially becoming a doctor, maybe like a brain surgeon or a heart surgeon, something like that. So talk a little bit about that, and whether you're planning on bowling in college, or you're going to get it out of your system now, or because obviously, being a doctor, that's going to require a lot of work and a lot of school. But just talk a little bit about that and what you're interested in from that front.
I'm definitely going to bowl in college. Like, that's not a question. Ever since we started doing well in USA Bowling, I just wouldn't trade that experience for absolutely anything. And yeah, I have a lot of prospects that I'm thinking about. And yeah, I just wouldn't not do college bowling. I have, that's something I have to do. Like, being in a team is one of my greatest dreams, especially in college.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously you've done well in that USA bowling tournament. You finished second in 2022 and then won it in 2024. Aged out, of course, so can't bowl it anymore. But it seems to me like you are just sort of a natural team player. But the individual piece is something that you're starting to see success in as well. I know I went on your Instagram page and I saw a lot of motivational quotes and things like that. So what are some of the things that that sort of drive you to being one of the best? And obviously at this point you've reached pretty much the top of youth bowling. So what are some of those things that drive you?
The presence of my dad definitely drives me. He wanted me to be the best and beat the best. It definitely comes from that fire inside me that's like, everyone wants to be the best, but I really want to be the best. You know what I'm saying? And my mom, I want to be able to support her when I grow up, especially if I start
Be
bowling.
careful, she's going to take you up on that, Jos.
Yeah, I know, but I want to be able to do that. And yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, so let's talk a little bit about. I saw your Instagram page, and first thing I saw there, by virtue of making it to the final match at Junior Gold this year, you qualified for Junior Team USA. It's a big deal to be part of the national team. So, talk a little bit about what that means to you and what you're looking forward to the next year being part of the team.
It's truly been a long time coming. Ever since I got so close to making it in 2023 and in 2024, and seeing a lot of my friends make the team, I was a little bit jealous, but it really encouraged me to just work on my game. And now that I've made it, is kind of unbelievable, but I'm really looking forward to going to the camp, the Junior Team USA camp, and just being able to have fun with all of the people that made it as well.
So, Mom, I don't know if it was because he said he was going to support you, but it feels like the last couple of minutes I can see this very glowing look of pride in your face. So just talk a little bit. I don't know if it's the Junior Team USA thing or if it's the support, I'm going to support you, Mom thing, but talk a little bit about that.
We'll see about the support thing. I think, Junior Team USA has definitely been one of the things that he has set his sights on. And again, two of his really close friends have made it to camp, and he's really, really, really wanted to do that and really wanted to be a part of the team. I can't even put into words how impressed I was with his bowling at Junior Gold this year. We left here going to Green Bay, and two of the goals was, make advancers, make final advancers, and make Junior Gold, Junior Team USA, and the rest of it, the rest of it will take care of itself. And so he did it. I mean, he left here and he did what he set out to do. And so it was so exciting and anxiety producing to watch, but so exciting for him that he made Team USA. And I know that was just really the highlight of the whole week for him. So, and it was the highlight of the week for me as well. So still, again, just excited for him and for the opportunity, really.
Yeah. So again, we talked about this is your first year eligibility for the U18. You still got 2 more years left, and then obviously college, which you talked about. But what are you looking forward to the next 2 years? What are some of the goals that you want to accomplish before you head off to college?
I definitely want to try and make Junior Team USA a couple more times. I definitely want to bowl the US Open and try and make the cut because I'm 16 now and I can finally do it. I definitely want to bowl the team trials and do well there. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I can do now that I wasn't able to do last year that I'm just really looking forward to, like bowling in the tour events and probably bowling more local stuff and PBA regionals.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. I bowled the US Open when I was 19. It was a lot of fun. I think you'll do better than I did. But yeah, so let's just talk about that for a sec. I know I saw on your Instagram page you've had a chance to meet some of the pros. Kyle Troop, I saw a picture with him, and Belmo and Marshall Kent. Talk a little bit about some of those guys. I'm sure those guys have had some advice for you. What have they kind of told you about maybe the idea of bowling on tour, or other advice they might have given?
Really just like keep practicing, keep bowling on the hard stuff, and just make sure you work on, like, especially when you're actually bowling, you have to move really fast on the PBA tour and follow a lot of rules. So that's definitely kind of what I have heard from the pros, just to keep going and stay humble and yeah.
Well, my guess is after they watch you on this show on Tuesday the 12th, they're going to come to you for advice on how to bowl on TV, because you were pretty cool under the pressure there. But let's just, to wrap it up, let's talk a little bit about just kind of the whole Junior Gold experience. You're sort of the perfect example of somebody who's gone through the whole program. You started when you're just a little youngster, and you've moved up the program. You've had a lot of great years. You've been close to making TV. You've made TV. You've won a national championship at the team level. We're not going to say if you won one, on next Tuesday night's show, but you made it to the final match for sure. But just talk about the whole experience and what it's meant to you and how it's kind of shaped your identity as a person.
God, it was especially last week, it was a really, really, really long ride. I think in the final 2 days of the tournament, I wasn't really having that much fun. I was just like in a constant state of like just make it through. But it's definitely gonna stick with me that now when I go into another Junior Gold or any other tournament, it's like, I've made it to the top before. I can do this. I'm Jos Weems. I can do this.
You definitely are Jos Weems. And Sharon, I know one of the things my mom was really appreciative of for youth bowling was just the fact that whether I became a bowler or not, she felt like it taught me a lot about life. I assume you have kind of the same perspective, and if so, can you kind of shed some light on that?
Sure. I mean, I think two things really come to mind. And again, I have to give a lot of credit to his dad, because his dad is, sort of like was from the beginning with him in the bowling. Is he taught him a lot about the importance of like sportsmanship. And I think Jos has done an exceptional job of, being a good sort of role model for how to take the losses, take the wins, take the good shots, take the bad shots as he's bowling in tournaments, and, really being mindful of like the physical game is one part, but the mental game is another very important part. And, recognizing that you gotta reset after every shot, and you gotta keep going. And, he's really done a lot of work with both parts of the game. And I think that that's really made a difference for him. Just being a a good bowler out there, and really respecting the game and really respecting the players, but also making sure that he works on not just his form and his shot and his speed, but also works on how he thinks about the game and how he thinks about getting through a game and getting through a tournament. And recognizing something like junior gold is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And so, those are the kinds of things that I have watched him really kind of evolve through. And just really proud of where he's come to as a bowler. It's really impressive to see, not a bowler, not a history of bowling, but just sort of watching it and learning. It's just really impressive to see out there.
Well, I am a bowling history person, and I've seen all the bowlers from the early 90s to now, and he definitely is special, and seems like a special person as well. So thank you guys so much for joining us on the show, and I wish you guys the best of luck.
Oh, thank you.
Couple of years and then beyond. I'm sure we'll be watching you do many great things, and hopefully when I get my brain tumor, I will have a great doctor to go to help take care of me and give me a few more extra years of life.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I didn't mean to end the show on a down note, but
hopefully you don't get a brain tumor. Just try not to do that, okay?
But if I do, I know who to take care of me. Jos Weems. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much again. And I'll see you down the road. If there's anything I can do for you, just let me know.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Okay. That is Jos Weems and Sharon Weems. And again, Jos, unbelievable performance on August 12th. You're going to be able to watch it on CBS Sports Network at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And it was a great show all around, the girls division, but the boys really put on an incredible show. So I encourage you to watch that. And then tonight, of course, we have the U15 show. That one fantastic as well. Anna Antony, very notable performance. So you're going to want to check those shows out. And then, of course, we've got the PWBA Tour Championship, which will wrap up the season. And before we wrap up the show today, we're going to take a look back at sort of the energy in the building that we had for that PWBA Anniversary Open, which kicked off Junior Gold, and is sort of the theme of this week's show is that great energy. So it's the final frame next here on the Sport of Bowling show. One of the topics I've always been interested in is how people tend to carry a certain energy about them, and how, if you cultivate a sense of awareness, you can feel the energy of others and even exchange energy, either positively or negatively, through the ways in which you interact with people. Today's guests are a perfect example of this, and the reason I chose to have them on is precisely because of the positive energy I witnessed from both of them throughout the week at Junior Gold. Ever since I first saw Jos when he was just a little tyke, barely bigger than his bowling ball, he's always had this quality. And the example he sets now, continuing to exude this beautiful, bright, positive energy, even after dealing with something as dark and difficult as losing his father, is quite humbling and also incredibly inspiring. He was also one of the 6,500 plus spectators on hand for the PWBA Anniversary Open, which is another example of the great things that can happen energetically when you put an arena full of people together to enjoy and celebrate something they all love. I had the privilege of being the television coordinator for the show, and I could feel the amazing positive energy flowing throughout the building the entire night. After the show, I ran into Rocio Restrepo in the lobby of our hotel and had a brief conversation with her about bowling in front of such an energetic crowd. Even though she was disappointed she didn't win the tournament, she was so thankful for the experience of bowling in the presence of such an enthusiastic, supportive crowd. And even though it was several hours after the show, she was still glowing from the positive energy of getting to do what she loves in front of a group of people who were in full support of it. I know the industry took notice as well, and these kinds of events are precisely what we need to show the rest of the world that our sport is full of enthusiastic fans and participants, and that it deserves the attention and the notice of others. I believe the momentum from that burst of positive energy will continue, and that it will fuel many positive changes for the future of our sport. And I was very thankful to get to be a part of it. Thanks for watching our show, and until next time, may you fill every frame.